Hey folks, Ty Cohen here, and I am pretty excited about this week's webinar. As a matter of fact, it's something that I had been wanting to share with you for a while, but I wanted to take my time in order to be able to find the right person to present this information to you. Because what we're going to be talking about today is being able to use Facebook traffic to really drive sales to just about anything, right? Specifically, e-commerce stores and anything e-commerce related that you're doing, that you may be considering doing. And in addition to that, it doesn't just stop there, right? But also being able to use Facebook traffic to drive sales for affiliate products, for high ticket products, for your own digital products, for memberships, for coaching programs, for literally about just about anything, right? And if you notice, there's been a consistent theme where every once in a while I'll bring on these Facebook experts, but this gentleman that I'm about to present to you now is a little bit different in the fact that he's been able to take what he's going to show you here, right, and turn it into $250,000 in a very short period of time, right? So if that doesn't get you interested, I don't know what will. All right. I'm actually here. I'm dying to see what he's got going on. He's a stand-up guy. I met him about a year ago. We had a brief conversation, right? And then he did some work with a partner of mine, a buddy of mine by the name of Sam England. And I reached out to him again shortly before that, and we had a phone call. And I like to think of myself as a good judge of character. I got a great vibe from this individual, right? And then after poking around and asking a few other people that I trust in the industry about him, and then just looking at what he's doing, I said, okay, I have to share this with my tribe just to be able to continue to bring goodwill. I'm all about making sure that you guys get good stuff. And more importantly, I think it's important for anyone that is a thought leader or considers himself to be one to share things that they themselves are interested in, right? So that's the one common thread in all of the webinars and all of the trainings that I'm presenting to you. Okay, it's not about the money. I don't need the money. I'll take the money. I'm not an idiot, but I don't need the money. So more important for me is to uh, be able to bring you things that I'm not only interested in, but possibly doing as well and generating income from these systems as well. Um, so that's the number one goal for me. The second thing is to make sure that whatever it is that I'm bringing to you, I'm bringing it to you from a position of trust. And by that, I mean I'm bringing on guests and experts that you can trust. All right. Because the last thing I want is to be able to bring someone who is not the person that they claim to be. So, with that said, I want to bring on a guy that, like I said, I've got a lot of admiration for. I think he's an expert at what he's doing here, and he's just a genuine guy. I've watched him for a while, like I said, over the last year, and how he interacts with people. And the way he is right now is where I want to be when I grow up. So, with that said, my good buddy Curtis, are you there?
Hey, thanks for that awesome introduction. I am so happy to be here today. I'm very honored to be able to share with each and every one of you how you can start a successful e-commerce business for yourself. In fact, before we really jump into the content today, I do want to provide you some awesome training, and I promise to do that. But before we jump in, are you excited to be here? You see, I like to get involved with people who are on my training. I like to hear from you. I like to have a good time. I like to make this very interactive. So if you are excited to be here today, or if you're excited to discover how you can launch a successful e-commerce business for yourself, go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat box. That will also let me know that you can hear me, you can see my screen. Share your excitement with me. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to discover how to launch a 6-figure e-commerce business for yourself? Good. Tons of ones pouring in the chat box. I love it. I love the interaction, and I love it when you get involved with me on my training. Well, the topic of today's training, as you can see here on your screen, is how to launch an e-commerce business by combining Shopify with the power of Facebook ads. And by way of an introduction, for those of you who don't know me, this is a picture of my family that you see here on your screen. I tell you what, my family is my everything. They are why I work as hard as I work. And something I want you to consider as you go through today's training is ask yourself, what is your why? And here's what I mean by that. My why is what you see here on my screen. My family, they are my why. They are why I work as hard as I work. They are why I spent many, many long hours as I launched my business, plugging away on a computer, looking for products to sell, launching ads, because I knew if I could ever find the success that I so desired, it would change my family's life forever. They are my why. They are my motivation. So ask yourself, what is your why? Is it your family? Is it your job? You know, there could be those of you on today's training today who are looking to get out of the rat race. You're trying to give up that 9-to-5 lifestyle to live a lifestyle, an entrepreneurial lifestyle. And I applaud that, because that leap of faith of jumping into being in business for yourself, although it can be scary, I tell you what, it's very rewarding as well. I remember the day when I left my job to come home and to work full time and to run my e-commerce business. I was scared to death, and I don't really know why I was, because I was making good money at the time. I was supporting my family. We was living the life that we always dreamed of. But, you know, it was a very scary step for me. But you know what? It's a decision that I made that I've never regretted. So, you know, you see here on your screen, I'm the big guy in the middle. I'm surrounded by my wife and my 5 kids. You know, but Preston and Trevor over there, and then Julie, Melissa, and Ashley. My wife's name is Laura. And again, my name is Curtis. This picture was taken on the beach in Panama City, Florida, where we frequently like to vacation every year. We love to rent a condo on the beach and just relax, kick back, swim, have fun, and live the life that we've always dreamed of. So anyway, that's just my way of getting to know you, allowing you to get to know me and who I am and what I am all about. But again, as we move through today's training, figure out what your why is. You may already know what your why is, your motivation. Keep that in the back of your mind, not only as we go through today's training, but as you launch your businesses, as you push through the early times of trial and error, trying to find that path to success. Consider your why, consider your motivation, because that is going to be the motivator that keeps you going until you become successful yourself. My big promise to you on today's training is that you're going to walk away with real strategies that you can immediately implement to launch a successful 6-figure business for yourself. That's my big promise to you. In fact, if you stay to the end of today's presentation, if you've enjoyed today's training, if you feel like I have provided real value to you, I'm going to make you a special offer today. I'm going to make you a special offer to continue and to learn from me and the things that I've accomplished. But at the same time, if you stay until the end of the training today, I'm also going to share with you some of the products that have helped make me successful. I'm going to show you a handful of products that I have used to make a lot of money off of. And I'm going to tell you that's something hardly anybody does. You see, a marketer's product is usually their best kept secret. They'll take that to the grave with them, because if they let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, and they start sharing what their successful products are, they're afraid everybody's just going to jump on and start selling their products and, you know, just saturate the market. Well, I'm not worried about that. And the reason why I'm not worried about that is because there is hundreds of thousands of products, and there's literally millions upon millions upon millions, in fact, literally billions of people to market to using the Facebook ad platform. So I'm not afraid of you going out there and trying out some of the products that have made me successful. That's why I put them in front of you. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you some of the products. So I'm excited about that. I hope you're excited about that as well. So the big question I get is, why start an e-commerce business? I mean, there's so many different options out there as far as starting a business. You can join an MLM, you can open a brick and mortar business, you can run a webinar business or a lead generation bit. Why start an e-commerce business? Well, the answer to that question is really found in a statistic that I discovered recently. Statistics show that worldwide retail e-commerce sales will reach $1.915 trillion this year. Now, I'm talking trillion, folks. I'm not talking millions or billions of dollars. $1.915 trillion this year. And as we move forward, double-digit growth is expected to continue through the year 2020, when sales are expected to top $4 trillion. Folks, e-commerce is absolutely exploding right now. And when you think about it, it's really in its infancy stage. E-commerce, although it's been around for a while, it's really only over the last few years just really taken off and exploded. Well, that's why we position ourselves with e-commerce stores of our own. You see, it doesn't take a very big piece of the $1.915 trillion pie in order to make each and every one of us very successful. We can very easily run six-figure e-commerce businesses with just a handful of successful products, and each and every one of us here, we're just a small drop in the bucket. There's no way we're going to saturate this market, because more and more people are shifting their buying habits to online versus retail stores, your typical brick and mortar stores. So if you would like a piece of the $1.915 trillion e-commerce pie, let me know in the chat box. Again, let me hear from you. In fact, put the word pie in the chat box. We all like pie, right? If you want a piece of the $1.915 trillion pie, put pie in the chat box so I know you're with me. I haven't put you to sleep yet, and you're still excited and ready to move forward. And pie, yes, I'm getting pie in the chat box. I love it, making me hungry, but we're going to move forward with some training now. So this is just why we start an e-commerce business. This is why I choose personally e-commerce over many of the other business opportunities out there, because the possibilities are absolutely endless. So the big question here, especially for those of you who don't know me, is why should you listen to me? If you don't know me, you don't know who I am, you don't know what I'm all about, you might be thinking, why should I listen to this guy right here? Well, let me share a couple of things with you. Number one, this screenshot right here in front of you represents actually 3 different accounts that I've operated my e-commerce business out of recently. 3 different screenshots of some of the recent success that I've had. And as you see up here in the top screenshot at the top of your screen, you can see where I've sold 9,321 products for a total profit. Now, this profit right here represents after my product cost. Total profit of $121,751. This center shot right here is another account that I used for a very brief amount of time, but I had a lot of success with it. You see, I made 2,569 sales for a total profit of $36,012.27. And the bottom screenshot here represents 4,261 orders for a total sale amount of $105,840.05. If you add all of these up right here, I've sold over 16,100 products, and I've made over $263,600. And I've done all of this. Now get this, I've done all of this without having to buy product in bulk. In fact, what I'm going to share with you today is what I recommend, honestly, is a simple drop shipping method where you purchase no product up front. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do e-commerce. I know people who buy product in bulk and then they stock that product, whether it be in their house, in their garage, a spare bedroom, or a fulfillment center like Amazon or one of the other fulfillment type warehouses that are really, there's multiple ones throughout the country, but they buy product in bulk, and then as they sell that product, they then have it shipped out or ship it out themselves. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that business model. I have some great friends of mine who make a lot of money using that business model, but the model that I prefer is a drop shipping method where I purchase no inventory at all. Again, let me repeat myself. I purchase no inventory at all. So here's how that works real quick. I list a product for sale. A customer buys that product from me for whatever price I have it listed at, and we'll talk about that. I purchase that product, or the customer purchases that product from me at whatever price I have it listed at, and then I take a small portion of whatever that money is the customer paid me to go purchase that product straight from the manufacturer and have it shipped from the manufacturer to the customer's doorstep. That's what drop shipping is. I purchase no inventory and have it shipped to me. I don't stock inventory, and I have the merchandise shipped from the manufacturer to the customer, and I only do that after the customer buys from me, meaning I have money in hand from the customer before I spend any money on product. If you like that, this is what we're all about. This is what my business is about, is drop shipping removes the risk of buying product in bulk. So no buying product in bulk. I don't print t-shirts. I sell a lot of t-shirts as well. And there's several different platforms that you can use for that. We can talk about that later. But, I don't, if I sell somebody a t-shirt, I don't have to figure out how to go get that t-shirt printed and ship it and everything else. I don't do all that. I don't stock inventory, as I've already told you. I don't ship out orders. And I spend absolutely zero money on products until the purchase is made and money is collected from the customer. So all of this right here that I've accomplished, 16,000 plus products, 260,000 or 263 plus $1,000 is without any buying product in bulk, no printing t-shirts, stocking inventory, shipping orders, or spending any money whatsoever on any product until I collect money from the customer. Now, beyond that, folks, I want to let you know I have done a lot of things right. I've made a lot of great business decisions. I made the decision to launch an e-commerce business, which has been absolutely life-changing for my family. I've formed partnerships with great people and who've helped make me a lot of money, and I've been able to help them make a lot of money. And I've done a lot of things right. But, at the same time, I'm willing to admit that I've also done a lot of things wrong. You see, I've made bad business decisions. I've launched bad products. I've launched bad ads. I've done a lot of things wrong over the years, but the great thing about it is not only have I been able to learn and to better myself from my own experiences, but those of you here on today's training, have an opportunity to learn and better yourself from my experiences as well. So my big question for you today is, do you want the easy way to tap into Facebook's ad platform and locate the most passionate people in any niche and then put your products in front of them? If you're looking for the easy way to start that e-commerce business, if you're looking for the easy way to find successful products, and if you're looking for the easy way to put your products in front of targeted audiences, let me hear from you again before we dive in. Give me a big yes in the chat box if this is what you want for yourself and your business. Good. Yes, yes, yes. Tons of yeses pouring in. That tells me you're still here with me and you are excited and ready to move forward. So there's two things that you need to focus on in order to run a successful e-commerce business. Now, the first thing that you need to focus on is, number one, is to find products that are selling. And the second thing you need to focus on, and what we're going to look at today, is how to put your products in front of targeted audiences. You see, we use the Facebook ads platform because they are the most powerful ad platform available for us right now, and we can target our ads so many different ways, and we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. But the first thing that I would like to spend a few minutes focusing on is how to find products that are selling. So let me just take my screen share. Let me remove my PowerPoint here, because we're going to do some live sharing with you, or showing you exactly how I go in to find products. Now, what we have here is what is known as AliExpress. Many of you who may be familiar with e-commerce, you've probably heard of AliExpress. For those of you who are not aware of AliExpress, AliExpress is a site that literally has thousands, probably even hundreds of thousands of different vendors on here where you can purchase products from at wholesale prices. This is where I go find products to sell inside of my Shopify store. And basically what I do every day, this is a process I use every day in my business, and it does not take very long to do, is I go to AliExpress and I find new products to list for that day. And I'm going to show you just how simple and easy it is, because what I would like to do is go find several products that we could actually launch in an ad if we wanted to. And I'm going to show you what we're looking for in these products as well. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to launch a necklace, right? In fact, I'm going to throw this little tip out there for you. Jewelry items are great items to sell. People love to buy jewelry items, and I'm not necessarily saying you have to sell high-end jewelry items, but jewelry items in particular are very, very good sellers. I've made a lot of money with them. And I'm going to share something else with you as well as we move forward. Occupations are also very good niches to target in ads, especially occupations where people are proud of what they do. It's maybe an occupation that demands a little bit of respect. They work hard to get where they're at. People that are passionate about what they do, people's jobs, a lot of times their career choice, that is their identity. That's who they are. They spend years going to school or training to become what they are, and they're proud to put on display the fact that they do what they do. And one niche, for instance, or one occupation niche that comes to mind that tends to be very successful is nursing. The nursing niche has been making me money and a lot of other people money in the e-commerce industry for a good while now. In fact, it's a very, very good niche to jump into. There are a lot of products available. So let's just take that, for instance, and let's run with it for a second and see what type of products we could find. Let's say I wanted to find a nurse necklace. And yes, they have nurse necklaces out there that you could actually list in your store and sell. I'm going to type in nurse necklace, and the first thing I'm going to do is come right up here. You see where it says sort by? I want to sort by orders. I'm going to click orders right here. And it's going to resort this by the most successful or the nurse necklaces that have the most amount of sales, and then on down from there. Now, there's also going to be stuff in here that I'm not necessarily interested in selling because we're using the keyword nurse. Other things are going to pop up, like this here looks like a baby teething necklace. This is not what I'm looking to sell, so we'll just skip those. But you see right here, when I type in nurse necklace and I sort by best selling, this right here is the highest selling nurse necklace that shows up. So let's take a look at it. What we have here is a very simple, pretty cool, like a stethoscope, right? This is a stethoscope that goes into a necklace and then has a heart on the end of it. We're talking low-end jewelry here. We're not talking about, diamonds and pearls and things like that. We're talking just very basic jewelry that allows the customer to express what they do for a living. And we see here that this is available in multiple different colors. We have gold. Looks like maybe a copper color, maybe, and it comes in silver as well. We also see that the total price is listed at $5.20, and it has free shipping to the United States via e-packet. So let me explain something to you here before we go too much further. E-packet shipping is the shipping method that you will want to use. And in fact, this is a common question that we get, and let's go ahead and take care of this right now. We often get asked, are people willing to wait? Because these products are coming from China. And if you take like ordinary shipping from China, let's see if just ordinary shipping is available. Here it is, right here. AliExpress standard shipping. If we choose AliExpress standard shipping, the estimated delivery time is 19 to 39 days. And I will tell you from experience, because again, remember I told you I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of things wrong. Well, I've made the mistake in the past, especially in my early days, of having items shipped to my customers just with the standard shipping method. And I will tell you, it will take every bit of the upper end of this 35 to 39 days in order for the customers to receive their product. And I will tell you, they are not going to wait that long. You will have some very irritated customers. Even with e-packet shipping, people still worry, are the customers willing to wait that long? Because e-packet shipping is 12 to 20 days. E-packet shipping from China back to the US. Now, will the customer wait that long for their product? The answer is yes. Absolutely, they will. I have sold over 16,000 products, and I have had very, very few customer service issues due to shipping times. And here's why. I educate my customers. I educate my customers in my product description. Before the customer ever makes the purchase from me, they are aware of the expected shipping time. I use e-packet shipping to try to expedite that process the best we can, but I educate my customers on that expected shipping time, because as long as you make them aware before they make the purchase, they're fine with it. They will wait that long. Now, you will run into your occasional situation where the customer doesn't read it or they forget, and then they email you asking about, where their product is, and just respond to it. Be nice, respond to it, remind them of the shipping time, point them back to your product page where you told them about that, and thank them for their patience and move on. They will receive their product. But as long as you educate your customers, they are willing to wait to have their product shipped to them that 12 to 20 days. So don't worry about that. Don't let that scare you. Over 16,000 products sold. I've had very, very few customer service issues about shipping time. But this necklace right here, we could list this in our store. And what I would do in this case right here, like this necklace right here, I would probably sell this for about $19.95. You see, my purchase price is $5.20. I can offer the customer 3 different colors to choose from, free e-packet shipping. My out-the-door cost is $5.20. I can list this for $19.95, and I can feel comfortable that as long as the customer is willing to buy this, or they like the product, I feel comfortable with the fact that they would spend $19.95 on this product. So would you like to charge $19.95 for something like this and then only have to go back and purchase it for $5.20? That's a nice, healthy profit margin, correct? Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So anyway, $19.95, purchase it for $5.20 only after the customer has paid you the money. I could sell this all day. Well, let's look at something else here. Let's see. We have this one here. This is more cheesy looking. I mean, a lot of you may think the first one we looked at was cheesy, but this one is a little more cheesy looking than that one. But the orders do the talking. I mean, there's been 829 orders on this particular product. And again, I don't care if I think it's cheesy or not. I let the customers do the talking. You see, we can't get caught up in the fact that we think a product is cheesy or something like that, because when we only list products that we like, well, just because we like something doesn't mean the next person will. And likewise, just because we don't like something doesn't mean somebody else won't like it. So keep that in mind as well. Don't be afraid to list products that you may look at and say, there's no way anybody would be willing to buy that. It's ugly. Let your customers do the talking, right? Let your potential customers do the talking. But this stethoscope necklace, there's several different things happening here. You have a heart, goes into a stethoscope, and then it has this little heartbeat sign, this EKG looking sign here in the middle. So it's kind of cool. Several different things going on here. Cheesy look to it, but 809 orders. US $4.99 to $5.99, probably different color, different price. We can click on this and see. So yeah, this gold one is $5.99 for this bronze or copper looking color. And then the silver one is $4.99. It's a little bit cheaper, yeah. They also offer free e-packet shipping. Let me explain something to you before we move forward. The first 2 products that we looked at here had free e-packet shipping. Now, that's not always going to be the case. In fact, we'll find one here in a minute that does not have free e-packet shipping, and I can tell you how that's going to work. So, but anyway, I can sell this. Gold was listed at $5.99, free e-packet shipping. So my final cost is $5.99. That's what I would purchase it for. I'd sell this for $19.95 as well. I don't think the quality looks as good as the other ones. So maybe I would go maybe a little bit cheaper, $17.95 or something like that. But again, if I sold this for $17 and I'm only purchasing it for $5.99, is that money to be made there? Right. So don't be afraid to list products that may look a little bit cheesy, because anything that'll pull at the heartstrings, anything that people are passionate about, they will purchase it, right? If it relates to them and if they like it. So let your customers do the talking there. Let's see what else we got here. So this one's actually cool, right? This is a medical symbol. I don't know if it has a specific name or not, but this is a medical symbol that has the snakes and the wings. That's a medical symbol. So let's take a look at this one right here. Looks like there's a good price on it. 237 orders, so people are buying it. Let's see here. So yeah, this product here, my purchase cost is $1.25, free shipping to the United States via China Post small packet. Now, but look at this, estimated delivery time, 20 to 39 days. Absolutely not. We do not want our customers to wait that long. So we'll click the drop down over here. We're going to see if ePacket is available. And it is right here. ePacket shipping is available. And again, ePacket is not free on this one. ePacket shipping is $2.11. But that's okay, though. That's okay. So we're going to choose ePacket shipping. So now we have our price. The price of this product here is $1.25. And then we're going to add $2.11 for ePacket shipping. So the total price is $3.36 for this medical necklace here, this medical symbol necklace. And this is actually cute. This is something I think that could be sold. This is not a bad looking product at all. So my total cost is $3.36. I personally would list this one for probably $14.95. Maybe even $17.95, but again, with a total cost, my cost of $3.36, the cost of the product is so low here that you could actually there's a lot of wiggle room in the price. So if you sold it for $17.95 or even $14.95 and your cost is only $3.36, there's a lot of profit margin there. There's a lot of profit margin built in for you to make some money. So again, that very good looking product to sell right here. And we could continue to scroll through here, and there's just dozens and dozens of products. Look at this one right here. Let's look at this one. Let it pull up here. So this is a cute little nurse. It says nurse across it. It has a heart and these little gems in it. I'm sure they're not real or anything like that, but it's cute. Right? It's cute, and it allows people to express what they do, their pride for being a nurse. You see it's listed at 79 cents a piece for this. 3 different metal colors. We got this silver, this pink, and this blue. So very cool. Free shipping, 30 to 50 days. See, again, we don't want to use that. We want to make sure ePacket is available. And if you ever come across an instance where ePacket is not available, you can either message the vendor. So you could come right down here and contact seller. You can message them and ask them if they can make ePacket available. And if it's not available, then go find the product from a different vendor, because you do not want to get caught shipping with anything else other than ePacket. So, and in this case here, the shipping cost is actually more than the necklace cost, but that's okay too. I don't care about that. 79 cents for the necklace, $2.44 through ePacket shipping. My total cost is $3.23. This looks like it's a better quality than anything we've looked at so far. This is a very nice looking necklace here. I would not be afraid to list this at $19.95 and then go purchase it for $3.23. Again, very, very healthy profit margin there. But look at what we've just done here just in the last few minutes. We have went and found, just from what we've looked at, 1, 2, 3, 4 different necklaces that we've looked at. Just in the matter of probably 8 or 10 minutes here, we found 4 different products that we can list in our store. But we could continue to go through here and look at all these. Here's another one. Here's one, an EKG sign with a heart. Here's another, I think that's the same thing that we've already looked at. But what else we got here? Another EKG necklace. We could continue to scroll through here. Another stethoscope necklace, a heart with a little nurse hat on it. A different style of a stethoscope with a heart necklace. It even says heart in it. You can continue to scroll through here and find dozens and dozens of products to sell. I like this one right here. It's the medical symbol inside of a heart. Let's look at this one real quick. A medical symbol inside of a heart. So it's a cool looking necklace. The price is $4.04. Let's see what e-packet shipping is, $1.72. So the total cost is $5.76. I would list this at $17 or $19.95. Healthy profit margin. Very cool looking necklace. This is something worth testing right here. So again, that makes five. We found 5 products that we've actually looked at, plus another handful of products on top of that. And look, this goes on for pages and pages right here of nurse necklaces. So just this one niche idea, the idea that maybe I'm going to try to list some nurse-related necklaces, we have found, with what we looked at and what we just, scrolled over, probably 8 or 10 or more different products that we can launch inside of our store. And then if we come down here and continue to scroll page after page after page, we could probably find a dozen or 2 dozen or even 3 dozen products that we could launch inside of our store. Do you see how easy this is? Let me know in the chat box if you see, if you think you can do this. In fact, if you think you can do this, give me a heck yes. Do you think you can go to AliExpress, use some simple keyword searches like we used here for a nurse necklace, and then go find products to list inside of your Shopify store and run ads on? I mean, you launch enough of these products, you're going to find some that are successful, and all it takes is a handful of successful products to run a 6-figure business. And yeah, getting heck yeses in the chat box. You see how simple this is. This is not rocket science. There's nothing difficult about going and finding products. I do want to move on now, but let's take a look at one more thing. I'm going to tell you another niche, another occupation, and we can go beyond occupations too. I mean, there's hobby type niches. You got fishing and hunting and golfing and cycling and hiking and camping, and there's literally thousands of niches out there. And guess what? There are products inside of AliExpress related to those niches that you can go find and sell inside of your store. The possibilities are endless. There's more products here for you to sell than you could ever sell in a lifetime. So don't ever worry about running out of product ideas. But I'll tell you, firefighters, that comes to mind. Let's see. Let's take a different approach instead of a necklace or something. Let's go a watch. I don't know, firefighter watch. Do they have anything like that in here? Firefighter watches? Well, yes, they do. They got pocket watches in here. So look how cool this is. Very nice. So you got this vintage looking firefighter pocket watch. Let's click on this. Okay, so yeah, pretty cool looking. You got the watch opened up, nice looking watch. Got the firefighter symbol on the outside of the pocket watch. So yeah, very nice. And $3.30 is the cost. Free shipping, 28 to 45 days. We do not want to do that, but e-packet is available for $1.59. And look at this. This firefighter pocket watch is $4.89. I'll sell this for $19.95 or possibly even $24.95 all day long and have a very healthy profit margin on that. Very, very cool. I didn't even know you could find firefighter watches, but guess what? A simple search term, simple AliExpress search comes up with multiple different kinds. These two look the same, but here's a different, has a different little symbol on the front. This one here. Several different kinds to choose from. You could list these. United States, this one for the Navy. This hasn't got mixed up in the firefighter niche, but that tells me that we could probably find pocket watches in other occupations as well that we could sell. So this could be a niche idea right here that you could just scale out to multiple different niches. This here is $223 by the lot. So this vendor here is actually requiring you to buy 100 pieces at a time. We do not want to do that. We buy single orders. So if you ever see by the lot, move on to something else, to a different vendor, because we buy individual purchases to have it shipped to our customer. We don't stock inventory. So yeah, look at this. Here's another one, Navy. Let's click on this. This Navy, no, this is Air Force. But maybe they got, well, this is a wolf. But again, look at that. It's a niche idea, though. They got one for firefighter, one for wolves. I've sold some items in the wolf niche before. There's actually people out there that are passionate about wolves. They get into all these wolf conservatories and save the wolves and all that. This might be something you could sell to them. You can target that on Facebook. Firefighter, police, there's a niche. United States Navy, so at Air Force, Navy, this one vendor right here, Department of the Army, so it's one for people who are in the Army or Army veterans. So this one vendor right here has multiple options. Coast Guard for veterans. This is something to look at here for the Marine Corps. Very nice. So if somebody's looking for a vendor right here, just you saw what I've done to run the search and find it. And they've got multiple different niches here available that you could go put in front of them in Facebook. Let's see, we have $2 shipping e-packet, so the total cost is $5. So that for $19.95 at least all day long. Very cool. So different niche ideas just from that one vendor. Here's a different type. Has some color to it. Cool looking firefighter pocket watch there. And again, you get the idea here. So I didn't even know they had pocket watches, but you know what? We search for firefighter watch, and we come across several different firefighter watch designs. And then on top of that, we found other ones for like wolves, the Navy, the Army, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard. And again, just in probably the 3 minutes that we've been on this screen, we found products that we can launch to probably 6 or 8 different niches. So you see the possibilities here. You see how easy it is to go in and do product research and find things that you can sell. In just a matter of minutes here, we've literally found a dozen or more products that we can go launch in our store. And then we have 1 or 2 of those take off. We're off to the races, folks. You're off to running a successful business. So if you don't think you can do this, then honestly, I don't know what to tell you, because it's just this easy. It's not rocket science when we're doing product research. But let's go beyond product research now, because before we run out of time today, I do want to show you inside of the Facebook ad platform. And I want to show you how you can use that to put your ads in front of targeted audiences. So let's come over here to the Facebook Ads Manager. This is one of I've got a lot of different ad accounts that I use depending on what I'm doing. This is one of my ad accounts here. We're not going to go through the specifics today of how to set up an ads account and get registered for your business manager and set up ad accounts and all that, because time just does not allow it. We can go through that later. But for now, this is the front of the Facebook Ads Manager. And if we want to launch an ad, we're going to come right over here to where it says Create Ad. And it'll load up here in just a second. There we go. And the objective that I like to use, now there's a lot of different objectives to choose from depending on what you're doing. What I like to use is this conversions objective here. So we're going to select conversions. And what we're doing is we're telling Facebook we're optimizing for people to convert on our website. A convert could mean a click to our website. It could mean an add to cart, an actual purchase. So campaign name would just run a test ad. We're not going to actually launch anything. I just want to show you inside of the ads platform. Take it a second to load up here. Okay, so Here we go. The first thing that you have to do inside of the Facebook ads platform is choose what your conversion event is. Now, when you're running an e-commerce business, the three most common conversion events that you would use would be a view content, an add to cart, or a purchase. Here it is, a purchase. Now, here's the difference. A view content is you're telling Facebook to go out and optimize your ad to show your ad to people who are more likely to click the link in your ad to go to your website. That's what view content is. If you're looking to optimize for add to cart, then again, you're telling Facebook to go out and find people who are more likely to add your product to their cart. And then same thing with purchase. If you're optimizing for purchases, you're telling Facebook, go out and find people who are more likely to complete their purchase on my website. Now, how does Facebook know all of this? Well, Facebook tracks everything you do. When you're scrolling through Facebook and you're clicking on things, you're liking, commenting, sharing, interacting, you're clicking on links in people's posts, you're clicking on links and ads, they track that. If you click on something inside of Facebook that takes you off of Facebook, they're tracking that, and they're tracking the movements that you continue to make. If you buy things off of Facebook or online, Facebook tracks that. They track that and they gather data about you that we as marketers can use in order to optimize our ads. So that's how Facebook learns about us. Now, of these three options, and it would seem like, well, wouldn't it just make sense to go optimize for purchases? And yes, absolutely, once you have some purchases. But I'm going to tell you, based off of my own testing, somehow clicked off of it here. There we go. Based off my own testing, I get my best results whenever I optimize for add to cart. Now, you'll have to test that too. You may get better results off view content or purchase, but I get my best results off of my add to cart. And then once I begin to sell a lot of a product, I can go launch new ads and optimize for purchases and again get good results there. But I usually start by selecting add to cart. And then I'm going to come down here. The next thing you do is choose your location. I mean, you can market stuff inside the US, Canada. I would focus on English speaking countries, which would be known as like your tier 1 type countries. The US, Canada, Australia, the UK, I believe New Zealand is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. But I've sold products in Canada, Australia, the UK. I sold a lot of products to some of those countries. So I always start with the U.S. because if they're not going to buy in the U.S., they're not going to buy it really anywhere, because this is where you tend to find your biggest audiences on Facebook as well as your most passionate. As far as the age group goes, I select nothing less than 25 years of age. You can market to people 18 and older if you'd like, but the thing is with that, folks, you need to understand, based off of the testing that I've done and really testing of a lot of other people that I'm connected with in the e-commerce industry, is that in that 18 to 24 age group, we get a lot of engagement. They'll like your post, they'll comment on it, they'll share it, they may even click the link, but for the most part, that's not who your buyers are. I have personally found, and again, this may be different for other people, but I've personally found that I will spend more money advertising to that 18 to 24 age group than I will get back in sales. So I go straight to 25 and older. You can also, you can adjust that even higher. You may have a product that may be geared towards the older crowd or the younger crowd. You can adjust the lower and upper ends of the age group. Gender, you can market to both men and women, men alone, women alone, however you want to do that. I don't never mess with languages here. We'll come back to detailed targeting here in just a second. But the next thing we need to do is come down here and edit our placements. I don't never do automatic placements, so let me show you where you need to show your ads at. Click right here where it says edit placements. And the first thing we're going to do is take off audience network. It's just a different type of advertising. We're going to take off Instagram. We do not market on Instagram. I'm not currently doing that anyway. And we're going to select the drop down here by Facebook, and I'm going to remove right column, all those right column ads that you'll see sometimes on Facebook. We don't want to show our ads there, and we don't want to show them on instant articles. The only thing we want our ads shown on is the feeds. That's the Facebook mobile and desktop news feed. Basically, if you're inside of Facebook, let me just go over to my Facebook. It's this right here. Right here. This is, why is my Facebook getting hung up? Let's see. Right here. This is your news feed. Right here. This is your news feed. This is right column. These are right column ads over here. We don't want to show our ads over here. People don't look over here, number one. And number two, when we launch ads on Facebook, we list our product on our fan page, which we're not going to do today because of time. Again, we can go through that later. But we want a nice, big, clear image for people to look at. We want it to jump out at them, kind of an in-your-face deal where it shows up right here in their news feed. And that's not going to happen on the right side or anywhere else. So that's the news feed, is right here in the middle of your Facebook page. So let's go back over here. So that's where we want our placements to be. I like to go edit our placements because it affects our reach, because we have all this other stuff selected. Then it's going to show our potential reach. Our audience size numbers are going to be screwed up based off of everything else. So once we remove it all, then we get a more accurate reach count. So we're going to come right back up here to targeting, and this is where we began to start looking at some targeting, some places to show our ads to. So the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to uncheck this box. I have not found where this does any good, where it says expand interest when it make increase conversions at a lower cost. I have not found where that does anything good other than messes up our audience numbers. So we're going to take that off right there. And let's take, for instance, that firefighter necklace. Not firefighter necklace. We saw some firefighter pocket watches that looked very interesting. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in firefighter. Look at this here, 28 million people. That's obviously way too big. But once we type in a firefighter, what it now does, see, it gives us a potential reach based on the parameters we set. So here it showed firefighter 28 million. That's worldwide. Remember, we have it set United States, men and women 25 to 65 plus. So once it narrowed it down based off of these things, we have a potential reach of 6.3 million people. Now, as far as scaling an ad, once you have a successful product, you see that there's millions of people you can market it to. But we are looking in the beginning to put our products in front of a smaller group of passionate people in this niche. So we don't want to put our ad in front of 6.3 million people to start. We want to find a smaller group of people. So we're going to come down here and we're going to find a firefighter interest that's a little bit smaller. It's a job title, firefighter. You can even target people who have that set as their job title. See, look at that. And we can take out this additional interest here. And now we're targeting people who have listed on their Facebook profile, I am a firefighter. You have 56,000 people. But again, we could select these other firefighter interests, not interests, but job titles, firefighter, EMT, firefighter/paramedic, fireman, fire captain, volunteer fire department, fire chief. And we can continue to select all these job title related firefighter interests. And you see right now we have a potential reach of 110,000 people. That's 110,000 people who have listed on their Facebook profile that they are a firefighter. That's pretty targeted, right? I mean, wouldn't you think that people who have told Facebook, yes, I'm a firefighter, that would be a good target audience to put a firefighter pocket watch in front of? Absolutely, yeah. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is through interest targeting. In fact, this job title targeting is a very good way to do it when you're using job titles, because you can target people based off of what their job is. But let's say we wasn't dealing with firefighters or wasn't dealing with an occupation. We're dealing with another niche that we would use interest targeting for. I can find firefighter related interest that are not job titles. And again, I'll do the same process. I'll go put in firefighter, and I'm looking for a smaller firefighter type interest that's not a job title. And right here, here's one. So let me give you a tip here. Websites and magazines can be very good interests to target. And right here we have firefighternation.com and Fire Rescue Magazine. Look at this. Website and magazine. You see, if people subscribe to a magazine, don't you think that they're pretty passionate about what they do, right? If you subscribe to a firefighter magazine, you're just not going to do that unless you're a firefighter or closely maybe connected with one. Well, same thing for any other niche as well, everyone. Look, listen. Fishing, for instance, right? For those of you who like fishing out there, if you subscribe to a fishing magazine, which there's a lot of them, doesn't it stand to reason that you are probably passionate about fishing? You're not going to subscribe to a fishing magazine if you don't care about fishing. That's what makes magazines very good interest to target. So when you come across magazines in the niche you're in, choose those, right? Because that's where you're going to find your passionate people at. So let's choose this one right here. And then I'm going to come up here and take the original firefighter interest out, because remember, it's just too big. It's too broad to start off with. Great for scaling, but too broad for looking for the most passionate, smaller group of people in a niche. So we take that out, and now look what we got. We got a potential reach of 180,000 people just off this one interest. But look at what we've done. We're starting to get a little bit more targeted on our interests too. We have Fire Rescue One, Firehouse.com, Firefighter.com, thefirestore.com. This would be like a firefighter store. International Association of Firefighters. All of these good interests to use. Plus there's smaller interests. So let's start selecting some of these. Firefighter.com, let's see. Choose the Fire Store. Firefighter Toolbox, Urban Firefighter Magazine. I guarantee it's 12,000 people. That's not going to change anything up here on our reach. Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment Magazine, another magazine. Look at that. I mean, right here, we've got a potential reach of 470,000 people just with these interests that we've chosen right here. Now, what I'm personally looking for when I launch an ad is I'm looking for something in the neighborhood of 300,000 to 500,000 people to start. I find that to be a good, tight-knit, smaller group of people in a niche to work with. You don't want to work with the masses yet. You need to prove your product first. You need to make sure that they're going to buy it before you start scaling it out. Now, when you start scaling it out, when you have a successful product, scale it out to millions of people, right? But the best way to find out if your product is going to be successful is to put it in front of a smaller group of passionate people in the niche. If the smaller group of passionate people aren't going to buy it, then the masses aren't going to buy it either. So start with a smaller group of people, and we have a great audience right here of websites and of magazines in the firefighter niche that we could use. And let me just show you real quick that this does not just work for firefighters. We looked in the nurse niche as well. So let's just type in nurse to start. And look at registered nurse right here. We'll select registered nurse. And again, the audience size is 1.8 million people. It's too big. And again, you could do nursing type job titles, very targeted, right? But we can also choose nursing related interests. And, the question may come up, well, why not just go job titles? Well, I'm not telling you not to, right? They're very good interests to target. You're targeting people who have raised their hand and said, yes, I am a nurse. But at the same time, not everybody lists on their Facebook profile what their job is. That's why when you're tackling occupations, you can also go after interest as well, because maybe they like pages related to nursing, but they don't have it listed on their profile. Not everybody lists on their profile what they do. So that's why it's good to look both ways. But we typed in registered nurse, audience size, again, too big to start. But I'm scrolling through here and I'm looking, and I found one right here. It says, I love being a nurse. So let's click on that one. Let's go ahead and remove the registered nurse one. And now we're beginning to get some things that we would like to target. See, Scrubs magazine. Scrubs is what they wear. It's their what nurses wear. It's their clothing. So Scrubs magazine. It's a magazine, so we know that's going to be a good interest. Allnurses.com. Websites are good interest. So nurse.com. American Journal of Nursing. A journal will be another good. Think of a journal as like a newspaper article or something like that. You know, people, or you think of it in terms of not newspaper, but think of it in terms of a magazine. If people subscribe or like pages related to the Journal of Nursing, very good interest to target. Nursetogether.com, right here. And just right here, I've got 480,000 people, mostly websites and magazines. Very good, tight-knit group of people. Or we could come up here and do the same thing and type in nurse and use these job titles. Nurse job title right here. 140,000 people. Registered nurse, job title. Registered nurse RN, job title. Right there, 660,000 people, and we could keep going through different job titles. So, and again, the same thing works for any other niche. Fishing. I'm selling products in the fishing niche. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to look for the broad main fishing, and then I'm looking for something a little bit smaller, a little more passionate. Right here, I love fishing. Put that one in. Take this broad term fishing out. And look at this right here. Look at what we come up with. I'd rather be fishing. A sport fishing magazine. Look at that. Florida Sportsman magazine. That could be beyond fishing. Fishhound.com. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Bass Angler magazine. Here it is. Bass Angler magazine. We have magazines. See, I mean, look at this. We've already got an audience of 550,000 people using magazines. And I love fishing fan pages. BassResource.com, bass fisherman website, right there. Boom. Florida Sportsman, we already saw that. BassFan.com. I mean, just look. The same process goes whether we're looking at firefighters, nurses, fishing, or any other niche out there. The process works the same. So we found our audience, right? So let's just say this is the audience we're going to launch to. We already edited our placements. Here's what I'm going to do for my budget right here. I launch all ads at $5 a day. You see, I don't want to spend a ton of money to determine whether or not a product is going to be successful. I'm looking for $5, small daily budgets, and I'm going to let that run for a couple of days, maybe 3 days, and see if we get any sales. If we're getting sales, we can scale it up and go from 5 a day to 10 a day, and continue to scale up from there as much as you feel comfortable with. Or you can leave it at $5 a day and let it slow burn and just run it longer. It's up to you. But I don't launch anything higher than $5 a day. I do not want to spend a lot of money to determine whether or not a product's going to be successful. Everything else here I'm going to leave the same. Click continue. And this is where you would, at this point, we didn't go through that process here on the training because we just don't have time to do it. But you would have listed your product on your fan page by using a product image, your ad copy, and your link. You would have listed that product on your fan page. And then you can do that by selecting existing post, selecting the fan page that you're running it from, and then make sure here that track all your conversions. This is selected because this is where Facebook is going to track everything, all your clicks, your purchases, and everything else. And then from there, you click on place order. It's just that simple, folks. It is not hard to set up a Facebook ad It takes practice, it takes repetition, it takes doing it a few times, but that's the process that I go through. So here is what we have looked at today. I have taken you through the process of finding products that are selling. I've taken you through the process going through the interest targeting, of going through the gender, the country, and everything else. The process that I use to not only go find products, but to put those products in front of targeted audiences. It's not hard what I do. I do this every day of the week. I launch products every day, and I go through the process that I showed you here. So if this is something you feel like you can follow, tell me. I mean, let me hear from you again in the chat box real quick. Do you, number one, do you think you can go to AliExpress, use some simple search terms that I showed you here on the training, and then go to the Facebook ads platform and then find some interest, some passionate interest related to a niche? Do you feel like you can do that? Give me a yes in the chat box if you feel like you can. Yeah, give me a yes in the chat box if you feel like you can follow these steps that I've showed you here today. Yeah, good. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, it's not that hard. And I'm glad to hear that you see the possibilities here, because this is what I do every day. This is what I teach my own students to do. This is what's made me successful, is following this same process to you. In fact, my big promise to you today was that I would show you how I go find successful products, that I would show you how I go put ads in front of targeted audience. And based on the response I'm getting here, where you're sitting here telling me that, yeah, you could do this, you could do this yourself, it warms my heart, I guess, because it shows me that I fulfilled my promise to you, which is what I like to hear. I want to know that you receive value from my training. I want to know that you have things that you have discovered and learned that you can actually walk away and implement in your own business, because I want to see each and every one of you here on today's training be successful. I want to see you go out and start and launch very successful six-figure businesses for yourself, because, alongside of my own self being successful, nothing makes me happier than being able to lead other people to success as well. So let me ask you another question. Would you like to dig deeper into this process with me? Would you like me to help you to go further and to really dive into more of the strategies that I use, and to assist you in launching that six-figure business? Would you like to learn more from me about how I find products and how I launch ads and how I build out my Shopify store and how I post these ads on my fan pages and everything else that's involved in running a successful e-commerce business? Would you like to learn more about how to do this stuff? Yes, yes. Well, good. Yes. So what I would like to do is I would like to make a special offer to you today before I turn everybody loose. Before I end this presentation today, I would like to make a special offer for my Elite Ecom Profits training course. And inside the Elite Ecom Profits training course, here is a list of what you're going to get. Number one, you're going to get complete training on how to properly set up your Shopify store. Something we wasn't able to do today because there's just not enough time on the training to go through the process of setting up a Shopify store. So you're going to get my exact process for setting up a Shopify store. And let me add to that real quick. I have tested many, many different themes inside my store layout. I've tested several different types of layouts inside my store. I spent many thousands of dollars in testing, and I have it dialed in to what converts best for me. So what I'm going to show you how to do is to set up your Shopify store, how to properly set up your store the exact same way mine is set up, because it is what converts best. I'm also, on top of that, I'm going to teach you how to find a steady flow of products to sell. It's a very in-depth training that dives even deeper than what we covered today on how to find products to list inside of your Shopify store. I'm going to show you how to list those products in your store with just a few clicks of a mouse. So you find the product on AliExpress that you want to sell, but you got to get that product inside your store. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, how to set it up in your store as far as the settings that you need to have. We talk more about the pricing structure and the simple formula that you can use to set your pricing, and it works every time. I use the simple bit of math, right? Where I have a certain percentage that I mark each of my products up, a certain way I set my product in my store, different settings that I use. I'm going to show you how to do all that as well. So the fourth thing you get inside of Elite Ecom Profits is how to set up your Facebook Business Manager and ad account. Remember, I told you earlier, we just did not have time to go through that process today. I take you step by step through the process of setting up your business manager and your ad account. I also teach you how to properly launch a Facebook ads campaign. I take you through the process A to Z on getting your campaign set up, setting your ad up, setting your post up on your fan page. The interest targeting, we dive deeper into that. And some of the other settings inside the ads platform we did not have time to cover today. You're going to understand how to launch a Facebook ads campaign the right way. I'll tell you, a lot of people do it the wrong way. They spend money on ads that's just not necessary because they don't know how to properly set it up. I do not want to see you go through the struggles of trial and error on launching ads, because it can be a big waste of money if you do not do it properly. I'm going to teach you how to do it the right way. Also, the sixth thing you get inside of Elite Ecom Profits is how to analyze your ad stats and know what's working. So once you launch an ad, you're going to start to get all kinds of data in on your ad. You're going to get stats in, and you need to know what to look for in those stats. You need to be able to look at your ad stats and know what's working, what's not working, what changes you need to make, when it's time to scale an ad, when it's time to kill an ad because it's not working. I take you through that process and show you what to look for and tell you what to do based off of different scenarios and what your ad stats are telling you. Also, and this is something here, it's special, you get free updates to the Elite Ecom Profits training course. So what happens when a lot of marketers release a course on how to run a business or anything at all? They'll release their course, and then as things change, as the industry changes, as platforms change, and it comes time to re-record information, they'll re-record their course, but then they'll turn around and make you buy it again if you want the updates to the course. What I am offering you today is free updates. It's basically a lifetime membership in Elite Ecom Profits. As things change in the industry, as Shopify changes, as Facebook changes, let me tell you, the Facebook ads platform is always changing. They're always updating it. As new tools and things come out that assist us in locating successful products, and as the product research process changes, I'm constantly updating this information inside of the course, and you get free access to that. I will never make you repurchase this course from me just because it has updated video modules in there. So free updates to the Elite Ecom Profits training course. The total value for Elite Ecom Profits is $1,997. But what I would also like to do is throw in some bonuses as well. You like bonuses, right? You like free stuff? If you like free stuff, let me know in the chat box. Give me the word free in the chat box if you like free stuff. So yeah, there we go. Free. All right. So the Elite Ecom Profits is valued at $19.97. On top of that, bonus number one, I'm going to give you the template of my product description. It's valued at $297. Remember, I told you that there's an exact ad template that I use, right? I've tested many thousands of dollars on a lot of different things, as I told you. And one of the things that I've tested many thousands of dollars on is the template, the product description that I use, what people see whenever they click the link to go to my sales page. It's very simple, and it's very direct and to the point, and gets customers to buy the product. I don't want you to go through the trial and error of having to figure out the proper product description to use. I'm going to give you the exact template. All you would need to do is change a few words in it to make it relevant to your niche. You know, if my product description that I'm giving you as a template is talking about a nurse necklace, but you're selling that firefighter pocket watch, then you're just going to change nurse necklace in there to show firefighter pocket watch. Just that simple. So the template of my product description, $297 value. Bonus number 2, you get the exact ad copy that I use that is proven to get engagement and clicks to your product. You see, the purpose of your ad copy, what you list on your fan page, the purpose of it is to do 2 things. Number 1, it's designed to get engagement. You want people to like, comment, and share your ad. That's how it goes viral. That's how you get more eyeballs on it. The next thing you want it to do is get people to click the link to your product. And again, I've tested thousands of dollars on different variations of my ad copy, and I have it dialed into something very simple, and it's structured and worded in such a way that it is designed to get engagement and clicks to your product. I give you the exact template that I use. Again, all you have to do is change a few words to make it relevant to your niche. And that's bonus number 2. It's a $297 value. Bonus number 3, I'm going to teach you what is known as my flex targeting method that allows me to narrow my audience down to the most passionate people in any niche. That has a $497 value. So in our detailed targeting, we talked about how we go in and find magazines and websites to build out an audience. But there is another method of my targeting that I love to use that allows me to drill it down even deeper to find the most passionate people, what's known as flex targeting. See, when we list our interest here, when we list our interest inside of our ad, we are telling Facebook to go out and find me people who like any one of these interests, any one of these magazines. Well, with my flex targeting method, I structure my ad in such a way where people have to like multiple interests. You see, let's say for the firefighter niche, I would structure it to where they have to like my firefighter magazine and my firefighter website, not just one of them. You see, the more of the interest they like, the more targeted your ad is and the more passionate your audience is. And that's where we want to launch our ads, is to the most passionate people in our niche. So I teach you my flex targeting method and how to use that to dial it in to the most passionate people in any niche. That's bonus number 3. Bonus number 4 is you get access to my Elite Ecom Profits Facebook group mastermind. It's a Facebook group that is there for people like you and I, other marketers, where we join together. You get your questions answered. You share your case studies with me. You can share your questions, your screenshots, anything you need. I'm in and out of the group every day, answering questions as things come up and helping you the best that I can. It's a great community for people like you and I to gather together. We're all trying to accomplish the same thing, which is run a successful e-com business. And it's always great to mastermind with like-minded people, as well as get your questions answered from me when they come up. So access to my Elite Ecom Profits Facebook group mastermind has a $397 value. Bonus number 5, and this is something here that's very special, and this is a bonus that is not going to be around for long, and that is free access to my monthly group Q&A strategy calls. You see, every month I hold Q&A strategy calls where we'll hop on a training just like this, where you will actually be able to jump on and ask me questions about your ads, about your products, about your setup, your stats, anything, and get your questions answered by me. And also, I bring to you new strategies that are working. I continue to, it's like ongoing education, where every month we come together for you to not only get your questions answered, but for me to offer additional training for you as you move forward and continue to build out your business. Now, this access to my monthly group Q&A calls, my strategy calls, people pay $597 a month to have access to my monthly group Q&A strategy calls. You are going to get this as a bonus for free today. But this is for very, very limited time. This is something that's not going to be free for long because honestly, it's too valuable, right? It's very valuable, and people pay a lot of money to have access to this, and this is just not something that I can offer for free very long. So you look at all 5 bonuses that we have here. On top of the Elite Econ Profits course, we have a total value of $4,082. Now, my question to you is, if all of this helped you to successfully launch a 6-figure e-commerce business, just like myself and many others have, would this be worth $4,082, assuming you had the money? Well, the answer to that question is simple, because honestly, I have spent tens of thousands of dollars in my own education. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars buying courses to help me learn, hiring coaches to help lead me down that path of success. And all of the money that I spent, the tens of thousands of dollars that I have personally spent, has helped me to find products like this one here, a very simple pug dog necklace that I put in front of pug owners and made $4,862 in sales. That same training, those tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on my own training, has helped me to find products like this, an infinity teaching bracelet. And this bracelet, might I add, I was actually late to the game on. This bracelet had already been hit hard before I finally found it and started selling it, and I still managed to make $2,643. The same thing for this infinity nursing bracelet. Late to the game on it. Had already been hit by other marketers, but I managed to sell $7,139 of this infinity nursing bracelet. These boxing glove necklaces here, both silver and gold, $16,728 in sales. And then this very simple poster right here, it's a motivational poster that I've done $37,369 in sales on. And that $37,000+ on this one poster here was done in about 2 months. So the tens of thousands of dollars that I've spent on my own training has been able to help me find products just like these that I'm showing you here today that have helped me to go on and make a lot of money. And there's other products that have went on to make me a lot more money than this. I've got another product alone, one product alone, that I've made over $60,000 on. I've got another product that I've made almost $30,000 on. And the process goes on and on and on. It's not just the product here in front of you. So I tell you, I spent tens of thousands of dollars to make a lot of money. So when I ask you the question, if all of this helped you to successfully launch a 6-figure business, would it be worth $4,082, assuming you had the money? Well, of course it would. I mean, think about it. $4,000 to learn what you need to know to run a 6-figure business. That's like a no-brainer. But here's the thing, folks. I'm not going to charge you $4,082. In fact, what I'm going to do, the price of the bonuses, I'll bonus 1 through 5 here, the template of my product description, the exact ad copy, my flex targeting method, my Facebook group mastermind, and free access to my monthly group Q&A and strategy calls. And that's lifetime access. That's not just a temporary 1 month, 2 month trial and then you start getting charged. No, it's free monthly access, right? You'll never be charged for free access to the group Q&A and strategy calls. But the price of all the bonuses here, bonuses 1 through 5, I'm going to take them out. And I'm going to give all the bonuses to you for free. So the final sales price for you today is just $1,997. However, I am also going to give you a $1,000 savings on this webinar. You see, I have every intention of selling this for $1,997. But if you promise to share your case study with me after you go through the course and apply what I teach, I will give you $1,000 off of the sale price of Elite Econ Profits. So the normal price of Elite Econ Profits with all 5 bonuses is $1,997. With the savings of $1,000 today, allows me to make a very special offer for you for just $997. Now, let me add that this special offer of $997 for Elite Econ Profits and all of the bonuses is only available for this webinar event. Once this webinar event is over, that's it. The sell price goes back up to the regular price of $19.97 and the bonuses go away. So keep that in mind. $9.97 on this webinar event only, and you see the link is already on your screen. In fact, we're going to put it up. You should see the link either below or beside this presentation here. Go get your copy today of Elite Econ Profits for just $9.97 while it is still available, and to get your bonuses as well. But on top of that, what I'm also going to do, because the question tends to come up a lot, honestly, and I understand why, is are there any alternatives to the $9.97 offer? You know, people tell you the offer is great, all the bonuses, it's a no-brainer, it's just, but they don't have $9.97. You know, what are your options? So, you know, number one, I'm gonna be honest, you know, the most popular way, most people don't go pull $1,000 out of their checking account or their savings account. What most people do is they finance their way in on a credit card, right? They'll pay the $9.97 up front, put it on their credit card, and that allows them to make small payments to their credit card, you know, probably what, $20, $30, $35 payments to their credit card, and then go through the process of going through the course, setting up their store up, and then once they find some successful products, they're paying that off. And, you know, that way they're not paying interest on it no more. But I do run into situations where people don't have $9.97 available on their credit card. And I understand that. And if that's you, you need an option as well. So what I also would like to offer is my 3 easy payment plan, where you get complete access to Elite Econ Profits and all of the bonuses today for only 3 payments of $397. Now, if you choose my payment plan, now keep in mind, that's me financing your way in, right? If you don't have $9.97 on a credit card, you need me to finance your way in. I'll finance your way in for 3 payments of $397. But because I am financing your way in, yes, the total cost after your 3 payments does cost a little bit more than the $9.97, but it does kind of remove that barrier of entry for those who don't have a full $9.97 available. Helps you to get started, to go through the training, to set your business up. That way you can be on the fast track to a 6-figure e-commerce business. Now, let me say this also. This also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not happy for any reason, just let me know. In the first 30 days, I will refund your money. No questions asked. But look, at this point, what I would like to do is take a moment to some common questions that we get. And one of those questions that we often get whenever, you know, especially when we're looking at the ad section of the training, right, where we start talking about targeting other countries, the question we often get is, you know, if I want to target the United States and Canada and the UK, can I do that all in one ad? Well, yes, you can do that all in one ad. It will let you, but I don't recommend doing that. What I recommend doing is setting your ads up to where you're only targeting one country per ad. So if I'm launching an ad to the United States, launch it to the United States. If you decide you want to launch you have a successful product and you want to try to launch it to an audience over in Australia, set up a separate ad targeting the people in Australia or the UK or Canada or wherever you're launching your ad to. The reason being is just because you have a successful product in the US, and I've had this happen, does not mean it'll be successful everywhere else, right? I've had successful products that have made me thousands of dollars, many thousands of dollars, tens of thousands here in the US, and then I go launch it in Canada or the UK or Australia, and it'll be goose eggs, right? I'll get nothing. Crickets are chirping, no buyers, no engagement, no nothing. So if you start lumping multiple countries into one ad, you're not going to know what's working, number one. So, if you're running ads to multiple countries, run one country per ad. But, that's a great question we often get. We talked about the shipping times too. E-packet shipping is definitely the way to go. When you use e-packet shipping, be sure to educate your customers, and the customer education comes in the product description. One of the bonuses that I'm offering you for Elite Econ Profits today is the exact product description that I use whenever I am whenever I am launching an ad or launching a product. That product description also states the shipping time, and I have a way of stating the shipping time that removes all questions so the customer is aware of what to expect. So that's one of your bonuses that you get today is how we make our customers aware of our shipping time. So um, another question I often get, is, especially for those who don't have the 997 available. Look, the best way to do that, definitely if you have 997 available, choose the 997 option when you go through the checkout process. Because when you go to the link, it'll bring you to a screen where you choose. It's going to default to the 997. You have to click if you want the 3 easy payment plan. But the 997 is a cheaper way to go. It's going to save you almost $200 off of the payment plan itself. But for those of you who just don't have it available, you need to take the 3 payment plan. Although it does cost a little bit more, you decide you want to go with the payment plan. The second payment is 30 days from now, and then the third payment is 30 days after that. So it's a common question we get. So just think of it's 3 payments. The first payment will be today, and then 2 additional payments after that to complete your 3 payments. And the second payment's in 30 days from now, and then your third payment will be 30 days after that second payment. So, that's some of the most common questions that we get. We spent time also answering questions as they come in inside the chat box. So I hope all your questions have been answered today, and I hope that many of you go on to run 6-figure businesses. In fact, I hope all of you go on to run 6-figure businesses for yourself. So let's do this before we close out. Let's go over the offer one more time so you know exactly what you're getting here. You're getting the Elite Ecom Profits training course, which goes through the process of teaching you how to set up your Shopify store and all the technical things involved in that. It's a step-by-step training video where you can literally watch it, pause it, and then go set that up in your store. And then watch the next little piece. You can pause it and then go do that in your store. And then before you know it, you'll go through the whole video. Your store will be properly set up. Then beyond that, it teaches you very much in depth in my product research section. Great video there on how to do that. It goes more in depth into what we was able to do on today's training. Teaches you how to set up all your AliExpress accounts and everything involved with that, how to set up your ad accounts, your ads manager, your business manager. Teaches you how to set your fan page up, post your ads on your fan page, list products in your store, launch ads. It's analyzing your ad stats. It's a complete A to Z guide on setting everything up to run a successful 6-figure business and all the training that you need to find products and launch ads. Then on top of that, you get a template of my product description, which is also where we make our customers aware of our shipping time. Again, tested with many tens of thousands of dollars. You get the exact template that I use. You also get the exact ad copy that I use to go use it for yourself. My ad copy is laid out. It's worded in such a way that it is designed to get people to engage with my ad and to click the link to go to my sales page. Bonus number 3, my flex targeting method that allows me to narrow my audience down to the most passionate people in any niche. Bonus number 4, access to my Facebook group mastermind, which the link to the Facebook group is found inside of the course. And then bonus number 5 is free access to my monthly group Q&A and strategy calls. And when those kick off, you will be notified inside the Facebook group. So that is where those announcements will be made. And again, the free access to this is definitely for a very limited time because I have people that pay $5.97 a month to be a part of that. You get free, because of the very special offer I'm making today, you get free access. I'm never going to charge you for that, but this is very, very limited time. It's a very, very valuable bonus, and it's just something I can't make available indefinitely. But for those who take advantage of the special offer today, you will get free access. You will never be charged for it. So the total value is $4,082. But again, you're going to save $1,000 today off the $19.97 cost of Elite Ecom Profits, and you're going to get the special offer on today's webinar event only for $997. Again, available only for this webinar event. Once this webinar event is over, the bonuses, they go away. The what else? The $1,000 savings, it goes away. The price will go back up to the regular price of $1997 without the bonuses. So keep that in mind as well. Take advantage. $997 or my 3 easy payment plan that's also available, which is just 3 payments of $397. So that it is. There it is. That's the offer for today. That again, and I already see people that are actually going in. I'm looking at the numbers here, and we have people going in and taking advantage of this special offer right now. They're not wasting time. They're getting started. And for those, it's those that take action. Those are the ones that are going to be successful. So congratulations to those of you who have already jumped on this offer. In fact, I've already got people logging into the course, requesting access to the Facebook group. I love it. So for those of you who are already requesting access to the Facebook group, give me some time to go through everything, right? Give me, maybe tomorrow before I'm able to go get everybody approved for that, because, I get people request access to the group that don't have the course all the time. And so I've got to go through and match up names with memberships inside the course. And so I may not be to where I can get to that today with everything else that's going on with this special webinar offer, but I will get you added to the Facebook group. So for those of you that have already gotten started, congratulations. You have taken the first step in your path to success. For those of you who have not gotten started yet, you're still on the fence, I'm going to tell you, you've got 2 choices here. You can either A, walk away from this training and thinking, well, I'll do it later, but honestly, later never happens. You can choose to go at it alone thinking, well, I've learned everything I need to learn to go out there and be successful. And I'm not saying you haven't, but I'm saying, it's a lot easier to launch a 6-figure business when you're working with people who are running 6-figure businesses. So those of you who are on the fence, but if you're serious about running a 6-figure business for yourself, I encourage you to take advantage of the special offer I'm making you today. Get Elite Ecom Profits and all of the free bonuses that I'm offering for this very special price I'm offering for you today. Take advantage of it. Jump in, dive in, go to work on it, go through the training, get in the Facebook group, get on the monthly Q&A strategy calls, and let me help you go down that path to success. That's all the time we have for today's training. Look, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here for today's training. I want to thank you for the invitation that I received to be here to train you today, to share my knowledge with you. I'm glad the feedback that I've got, I'm glad that so many people have received so much value. I'm very excited to see what transpires in your business moving forward. I'm very excited and very much looking forward to working with you inside of the Facebook group mastermind, as well as on the monthly Q&A strategy calls. And I'm very much looking forward to sharing in your case studies, sharing in your success, and hearing about your case studies. So last call, $997 special offer, or make 3 payments of just $397. Go to the link you see on your screen, jump in, get started today, and we'll see you on the inside. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.